Hi guys, it's time to do another case review, and we didn't do case reviews for a while now, didn't we? Now here we have something really cool that I was actually checking for a really long time, about a year I would say, and finally this case here from AeroCool, the P7 C1 Pro, is going to be that. We're going to do a review on it, and then in a month or two I'm going to do a case mod with this case, exactly this case. But here we have an outstanding case with tempered glass. We have RGB already installed. You have 3 RGB fans, you have the RGB tracks, LEDs, LEDs, strips over here that light up as well, and it looks really cool. I mean, from the pictures on the internet you can see the case and the whole RGB stuff look really impressive. Now the thing is, it's a bit of a different case than usual. You have this kind of top and it has a different front panel which is also meshed, so you have a nice intake and you have loads of outtake here and at the back. Talking about the fan configuration, you have 3 120mm RGB fans right on front, and you have one 120mm non-RGB fan at the back. So from the interior you can see that it has loads of space, just enough to do some kind of water cooling, not bad at all. You can place the ATX motherboard, micro ATX and mini ITX boards. On the power supply shaft you have 2 brackets, 2.5 inches for the SSDs, and you have a nice big hole to put the cables on the SSDs, on the motherboard, and everything else as you wish. Now the thing is, with all the fans you don't get the 4-pin PWM, you get 3-pin, but that's still okay. You can control it through your BIOS, or if you have a fan controller you can manage everything. But okay, let's talk about the back side. Now you have 2 thumb screws to remove the back side, back panel, to check out how much space do you actually have for cables. We have loads of stuff going on here, and let's start what else than from the beginning. Now you have small standoffs for the power supply, and at the bottom you get loads of cool stuff here. Now let me just remove the boxes that you get. You have the accessory kit and you have the H1 for the controller, for the fans and for the RGB. Now this isn't a controller for the fans, this is just you can see the speeds in the program that you install with the AeroCool H1 RGB controller. On the other side you have 2 RGB controllers, 4-pin, that you could connect your fans, and then you could adjust the lights. You get some instruction manual, pads to attach the H1 to your case, and some zip ties, and that's practically it. We're going to remove this box because we don't need it. And the accessory kit, you have some ties to arrange the cables and everything, and you have loads of screws, and this is definitely for standoffs for the motherboard, to screw them to the part where the motherboard goes. So this is something usually that you get with every single case. We have 2 brackets for SSDs on front on the power supply shaft, and you have 2 more brackets here on the side. You have 2 3.5 inches for your HDDs, and you get another manual here that says Project 7, exploring the unknown. What's next? We have everything here that we need. Now at the bottom of the power supply shroud you have enough space beneath the HDD cage, which you could remove without a problem. So if you're just using 2.5 inches or you're using M2 SSDs, you can remove the cage, and well, I can see here some space for the pump, so you can place a pump down beneath, make some cutting on top of the power supply shroud, maybe just a hole and everything, and well, that's all there is to it. Now let's go. You have some cables here from the front fans. You have, as I said, 3 3-pin connectors. Each fan has one, right? And you have the RGB connectors as well, so that is also very nice. And the best thing about it, and I didn't see that before in any single case, you get a sticker here that holds the cap on the RGB connector. So that is really cool, because usually sometimes they fall off, and that's not nice. You have the USB 2.0 header here that connects to your motherboard. You have another USB 2.0. You have the HD audio, the pins for the connecting, you know, the top power on, power off, reset, and that kind of stuff, and the 3.0 USB. Talking about the backside of the case and how much space does it have, it has, I would say, here where are the SSDs, around 2.5, maybe 3 centimeters, and you have 1.5 centimeters here at the backside where the motherboard stands. Talking about channels and how to arrange the cables, each side of the case, each side of the backside of the case has this kind of standoffs where you could push the zip ties through and then tie the cables. So this is really cool to make a nice cable management organization at the back, which gives you nice opportunity to make it even look nicer at the back. I know nobody watches the back side of the case and that kind of stuff, but still, you know, it's really cool to have it. The design is completely different from others. It has a specific design, as I said, and definitely a cool looking build, cool looking case. Also talking about the material, now the top, front and the legs are plastic, which don't look actually that bad. I mean, they don't look bad at all. It has a nice finish, nice final design, nice cutting. There are no rough edges where you could cut yourself or something like that. The side panel, the back side panel is steel, as well as the whole chassis, and the front panel, the front side panel, is tempered glass. You have everywhere, you have dust filters on the bottom of the power supply shroud, on the top, on the side here as well, and on the front, so there's practically no way of dust getting in. Well, there is a bit of way, but that's with all the cases, so we won't go into that details. Talking about the front panel, we have it right here. It has the RGB, as you can see, the RGB line here, LED strip that connects to the 4-pin RGB header, which is really cool because you don't need just, you know, the fans to make it look cool. You can add some LED strips, and this is looking really nice with this front grille. You could mount on the front, you have 3 120mm fans. You could add 360mm radiator on the front here as well, which is really nice. It has a nice spacing here right next to the power supply shroud, and on top you could place another 240mm radiator. At the back you could probably place another 120, but if you have 360 and 240, I think that is practically enough to cool even 2 graphic cards and a processor, which is really enough, and that's all there is to it. Removing the top side, you have all the cables connected to the front panel. And talking about the top side, you have the reset button, the power button, you have 2 USBs 2.0, you have 2 USBs 3.0, and you have the microphone and audio jack, as well as with the SD card reader. So this is something completely different from every case that you get, because SD card reader isn't something you get with every single case. Let's talk a bit differently. AeroCool is aiming for something, let's say, budget. So they have loads of cases, loads of cool products, and taking into consideration that this is their premium case with very affordable price, and it's a huge case comparing it to the price that you have to pay for it. I'll put the link below so you could check the AeroCool P7 C1 Pro price, because, well, it's up to you to check it out. It's a really nice case, and you get loads of fan. You already have a prepared airflow, you have everything nice looking, you have all these dust filters, you have loads of possibilities for water cooling. So even though it's a bit of a tight spot for water cooling here, and it has to have a nice design and everything, it can still be squeezed in very, very nicely. You have 4 SSD brackets, you have 2 3.5 HDD brackets, and I mean, just the design is looking really, really nice. And this is, I think this is what you guys should be going for: the design, the final finish, and of course the price that you have to pay for the case and the functionality above everything else, of course. So guys, thank you for watching this video. This was a review and introduction to AeroCool P7 C1 Pro. I'll put the links below for their social media, of course, for their website, and for the P7 C1 Pro, so you can check out the prices and where to buy it in America, Europe, wherever you're coming from. You guys can check it out. Thank you for watching one more time. Don't forget to like and subscribe below for more cool stuff coming very soon. Thanks and bye bye.